Hey yo guys, what's up and welcome to this fourth episode of my Fortnite Noob to Pro series. The third episode, so the last episode, was about building basics. And I would like to use this fourth episode to cover aim and how to help you guys improve your aim. Because building and aiming are the two most important things in Fortnite. And aiming is actually very difficult to teach. Because aiming takes a lot of time and practice to master, and I cannot do that for you guys. You guys have to practice yourselves, but what I can do is give you guys tips and tricks on how to practice and how to do it. So let's get started. Let's start off with your sensitivity and finding your own optimal sensitivity, so how fast your mouse actually moves, which comes down to personal preference. You cannot copy mine or the sensitivity of any pro. There's pros like Tiff who use a very low sensitivity, and then there's pros like Vivid or Mr. Savage who use a very high sensitivity. You really have to figure out your own. It comes down to personal preference. So how do you do that? All right, let's start off with how sensitivity actually works. Your actual in-game sensitivity comes down to two factors. You have your DPI, which stands for dots per inch, which is basically just how fast your mouse moves in general. And then you have your in-game sensitivity in Fortnite. So your actual in-game sensitivity, so your eDPI, your effective DPI, is your DPI times your sensitivity in-game. So for example, I'm using quite a high DPI, I'm using 1200, and my in-game sense is 0.08. So my eDPI would be 1200 times 0.08, which is 96 eDPI. So someone can have an in-game sense of 0.2, which is more than double mine, but if his DPI is only 400, his eDPI would be 400 times 0.2, which is 80, so his actual in-game sensitivity is even lower than mine. Alright, now that we know that, how can you find your own in-game sensitivity? Alright, so first you have to determine whether you're a wrist or an arm aimer. I'm more of a wrist aimer myself. Wrist aiming looks like this, so you just move around your wrist to move your mouse. And arm aiming looks more like this, so you actually use your entire arm to move around your mouse, and you can travel longer distances. And there's no good or bad here, it's just different. I would say the biggest positives about wrist aiming is that it's very fast aim, it's good for reactions, and it's good for flicks and stuff like that. But the negative is that it's not as fine, especially when doing smaller movements, so aiming for a longer distance, for example. But on the other hand, if you're using your arm, if you're an arm aimer, you have a very fine aim over a longer distance, and you can use full range of motion. While the negative is that it uses a lot of movement for a small movement in-game. And also flicking and rotating, like doing a 180 or 360 is more difficult if you're using your arm. So figure out if you're more of a wrist or an arm aimer, or maybe somewhere in between, and that can help you actually determine your sensitivity. I would say if you're a wrist aimer, so you move like this, your eDPI should be from 60 to 150, probably somewhere in between. And if you're an arm aimer, it should probably be from 25 to 60. 25 actually being very low, so probably somewhere in between. Okay, so before we go over to our sensitivity in game, how to train your aim, etc., there's a few settings, very important settings you have to check or maybe change. So go to your mouse settings in Windows, go to additional mouse options, pointer options. You want to have this one here in the middle, so on the 6th line, and you want to make sure this enhanced pointer position is not ticked. You do not want Windows to predict where your mouse is going. Apply. Okay, and let's do the same thing for our Fortnite app data. We are going to our game user settings, so app data, local, Fortnite game, saved, config, Windows client, and then open the game user settings. You want to check if it's on read only. If it is, you don't want it to be on read only. Open game user settings and Control F, search for mouse here, and here we have disable mouse acceleration true. You want this on true because you also do not want Fortnite to accelerate your mouse if you move it fast and predict where you're going to aim. If you do this, like if you, for example, want to close this window right here, and you move fast enough, Fortnite or Windows will actually try to predict where you're going and will accelerate your mouse speed. But that's going to make it very difficult for you to actually train your aim and get your muscle memory trained, so you know where your mouse is going after moving your mouse a certain distance on your mousepad. So you want a true like one-on-one translation with how much you move your mouse on your mousepad and how much it moves in-game. So by disabling your mouse acceleration and your enhanced pointer precision in Windows, it will be a true one-on-one translation. So change this back to a read-only. And let's get started with the rest. Alright, so now that we know all of this, hop on my creative aim trainer. Here's the code for it. It's also down in the description. And it will look like this map. Grab yourself an AR. Scar, AK, blue AR. Doesn't matter. Let's start off with the AK. And we're going to actually work on your ADS, your aim down sight, which is if you hold your right mouse button. So how your sensitivity works is you have your mouse sensitivity X and Y. So X and a Y. And this works for everything. So if I increase this, I'm going to increase my ADS, but just everything in general. Oh, this is really high. Alright, I'm going to keep this on a 0.08. Actually, you want to scroll all the way left and then drag it to 0.080. So I know it's 0.080 for sure. Epic did add some decimals here, so it's fine like it is right now. But this mouse targeting sensitivity will actually affect your ADS, and the mouse scope sensitivity will affect scoped weapons like snipers. So if I increase this, for example, my sensitivity is quite high if I do this. And what I want you guys to do is hold your right mouse button, cover one of the robots, the crosshair, and just move from one to the next one. And if you see yourself making mistakes and over or under aiming and correcting a lot, my sensitivity is too high right now. I'm over aiming. You have to lower your sense. If it's too low, like this for example, I will under aim a lot. Just keep practicing here until you find something that works for you. And just keep in mind, if your DPI is very high, small effects here will change a lot in game. And if your DPI is low, you actually have to change a lot here to actually make it affect a lot in game. So keep doing this until you can actually do it quite precise, from like one to the next target. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just keep practicing until you find something that works for you. Also for the other targets, so for example this one. Also this one. And after that, just try shooting the targets. So hold your right mouse button and try to hit them all one by one. And just keep practicing this. It's a really nice map to actually practice your aim like this. Until you find something that actually works for you. Alright, so once you have yourself a nice ADS sense, go to the left side of the map here, stand in front of these fence, in front of these crates, and hold your right mouse button and just go over all the crates. And you want to be able to actually shoot all of them without making any mistakes. Sometimes they disappear before you even shoot them, but still it's a nice practice. And keep practicing this until you're actually very good at it. There's a different one here. And just keep practicing this. It's quite a nice practice for mid-range, I guess. And once you've done this, move over to this one, grab yourself the AK. This one is actually quite difficult because the targets are quite small. And the AK has 25 bullets, so you want to be able to do this in one go, so you can only miss a few times. Alright, so it should look something like this. Or better. Then go over to the right side. And here you can practice with these robots, which is quite nice because you also have high ground on some of them. And you also want to practice with different guns here. And try to shoot headshots. The robots respawn quite fast, so you can just keep practicing. Alright, so let's move over to shotgun aim. Grab yourself a shotgun or two here. And we practice it with these signs here. You want to jump and just shoot the target. Kinda like practice your flicking. And then here with the other ones, you want to edit, zoom, shoot, reset, edit. So edit. And then we move over to the top here. At the top there's robots. The robots actually have a shotgun, a tactical shotgun, and they have 100 health and 50 shield. So you have to headshot them in order to one-shot them, otherwise they will shoot back. And you just want to complete it all the way without dying to them. Alright, so after that, let's work on our tracking. Go here, take an SMG. Stand here. And you want to go down the ice and hit the robots on the right side. So, like this. Same thing here. So you go down. And just keep practicing this. Alright, so now let's work on our sniping skills. Go up here. And grab yourself a sniper or two. There you go. And now your sensitivity will be influenced by this mouse scope sensitivity. I have mine on 0.5. And here you can practice targets far away, mid, and close range. There is some bullet drop, so if you want to hit these guys, you have to aim a little bit higher than they actually are. You can actually see it like this, so you see the bullet going low. You see the bullet dropping. So always take that into account. So the further someone is, the higher you actually have to aim. Alright, so what you want to be able to do with snipers is to kind of like quick scope almost every shot, but do it accurately. So this guy here, for example, in the middle, I'm just running around and I see him. You don't want to be like, yeah, there he is. Ooh, I'm the best sniper in the world, man. No, that's not how it works. You want to walk around. People won't stand still for like 10 minutes. You just want to walk around. Oh, see the guy? And headshot him like that. You want to do it fast. So, for example, this guy up here. Alright, so just practice your sniping here, your quick scoping. Also, you don't want to stand still while sniping. Maybe to take a shot real quick. But usually, even when I'm shooting, I'm still moving. So what I'm doing here is, they don't see me right now. So I duck, I stand up, I shoot, and I duck again. So, you see? Just practice all of this and try to hit almost all of your shots. And you want to be able to do this very fast in normal games. You just want to see someone and just snipe him. And you don't want to be aiming for actually not even more than 1 or 2 seconds. Alright, so that's it for this map, guys. That's pretty much all you can do. So just practice practice everything, and I'm sure it will help you improve your aim. And there's a few more things I want to show, though. Let's start off with Bloom. So what does Bloom do? Basically, if I have my crosshair here, I have it exactly on the head of this robot. But if I click, I even missed him right now. If I click again, I miss him again. If I click now, I will headshot him. So the Bloom actually is a random spread where you're actually going to shoot within your crosshair. If I right click, however, the AK has first shot accuracy, so you will shoot exactly a headshot right now. And you have to actually learn the Bloom patterns of different guns. So the AK, for example, increases a lot, becomes very inaccurate. Same with the Silent Scar. A Silent Scar is very precise for tapping, tap fire. So if I do this, it's very precise. If I spray, however, my Bloom will become very big with it. A Scar is somewhere in between. You can spray quite well with a Scar. And what you basically want to do is, if targets are close range, like this robot, you can spray. But if targets are further away, like this guy, and you spray, you're going to miss a lot. Unless if you have a lucky Bloom, of course. So if targets are further away, you want to tap fire. So you keep your crosshair small and your Bloom smaller. Okay, there's a few more things. One more important thing is you can actually duck and peek. So there's 2 ways of doing this. You can hold your ADS, your right mouse button, and just go up, fire, and down. So you can actually do it very fast. And people can barely see you. This is less accurate though. If you actually duck up and then you zoom, your crosshair is instantly small. So you have no Bloom. Like if I'm a duck right here, if I go up, my crosshair is big and then it's small. If I do this, right click, it's instantly small. So this way it's a bit more accurate. But this way you can do it faster. And instantly duck. Just a few things you can keep in mind. Right, then there are also third-party programs that can help you train your aim. There's even some browser games which are free. This one is Kovacs. Kovacs is probably the best aim trainer out there. It's not free, however. It costs like 10 euros. But it's very good for training your muscle memory. There's like many different maps you can do. This one is quite popular. Style Frenzy, just to train your flicking mostly, I guess. But it's up to you whether you want to do this or not. You can also, of course, play your game, play Fortnite, and actually that's probably the best way to train your aim. Just play a lot of Fortnite, play the game a lot, and you will become a lot better. Alright, so that's it for this video, guys. I put quite a lot of effort into it, so I hope you guys like it, and like always, hit that like button, and if you have any questions, just ask it in the comment section or on my Twitch. So like, you know, just check out my Twitch anyway. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you all in episode 5? Yeah, see you all in episode 5. Woo! Goodbye.